competing.
Yeah, because that's one thing that bothers me is whenever a team like the Chiefs last year, right? They won like pretty much all their games by one score game and or by one score, and they scored 30 points, I believe. What is it, once or twice in the season?
Once the
Once
AFC Championship, that was
in the AFC Championship, and people consider them to be a legitimate team. Now, granted, they do have a lot of history behind them, so that's why people believe in them. But whenever the Texans do it, or another team will do, well, I'll say the Texans. Whenever the Texans do it, people are like, "Oh, the Texans aren't really good. They're fake good. They only beat the Raiders by, what was it, 2 points?"
3
But
points.
like you were saying, the Jaguars had beat the Raiders by 1 point in overtime, and then the Broncos beat the Raiders by 3 points. But people consider the Broncos to be legitimate despite them playing a bunch of trash bag teams. The Bears are one of the best teams in the NFL now, and they only beat the Raiders by 1 point. And then also the Patriots lost to the Raiders. And so whenever we look at these things, people are like, "Oh, well, the Patriots are legit. The Broncos are legit. The Bears are legit." But since the Texans struggled against the Raiders, then now all of a sudden we're not as legitimate as a team as anybody else. And I just don't buy it because we'll see the Broncos will take that win against the Texans whenever C.J. Stroud got knocked out to the bank. But whenever the Texans win a game ugly, despite winning it anyways 7 times in a row, people are still questioning the validity of our goodness. And so I'm not respecting that, especially because when you win every week, the pressure starts to build up, and obviously in the NFL anything can happen any given week. So the anything happened to be the Raiders took us up into the fourth quarter, but we still found a way to win. And those are the things that matter whenever it gets to the end of the season, when you get to the playoffs. It's finding a way to win despite it being ugly, because you see teams all the time where they have their way of winning, they get into the playoffs, they don't get a few calls, the environment is too hot, and all of a sudden they can't win in the way they usually win, and you'll see a worse team beat them because they play an ugly game. But the Texans have played the ugliest games this year, so it's like we can find a way to win no matter what. And so I feel encouraged, and I'm not scared of anybody in the AFC, especially not the Broncos, who almost lost to the Chiefs, the beaten up Chiefs.
Another thing on that, like you said, those close games. Hey, man, you look at Tom Brady. He won 2 or 3 Super Bowls on last second field goals. Hey, win is a win. That ring, it don't matter how he got it. He got that ring. That's all that matters.
I hate those moral victories because there are no moral victories. Whenever you look at the score sheet, a loss is a loss. Whenever we went, like you said, 3-13-1. When we lost, or whenever we went 2-14 that one year and we lost all those games by one score, no one said, "Oh, they're a better team than they look because they lost all those games by one score." No,
they said y'all suck. Y'all won 2
games. Exactly. We were a trash team, and then last year or this year, you see we win all those games by one score. Or when we were losing all those games by one score, people said we suck. Then we win them by one score, and then all of a sudden we're a good team. That's the difference. Football is a game of inches. That's what they say that.
Another thing on that note, which is funny, is like, they everybody tries to what's the word that I'm trying to say? People try to consider the Ravens game, an illegitimate win. Mm-hmm. Oh man, you beat the Ravens, 44-10. Mind you, that's a beatdown. You put 44, but it's like, bro, you put 44 without Lamar. I ain't trying to hear that. But the Broncos beat us by 3. We didn't have CJ, but it's like
that win was legit, right?
It's like that win is legit when you win by 3 on the last second field goal. But when you put 44 on the Ravens, it don't matter because Lamar didn't play. So it's like, at what point are you gonna stop moving the goalposts? Like, either if
never will stop moving the goalposts,
legit, then that loss isn't legit.
That's not how they look at it, especially the Broncos fans. No disrespect. Disrespect. The Broncos fans are completely delusional. They think that they have the best defense in the NFL, despite the Texans leading in most metrics, and they think that they have the number 1 team in the NFL, despite playing one of the easiest schedules. Same with the Patriots. And people, that strength of schedule stuff doesn't matter until it does, because you see that every year with the Cowboys. They have one of the easiest strength of schedules. They'll go 14-2. They'll get into the divisional round after having a first round bye and get waxed by the first team they play because they just be beating up on trash bag teams. We see it every year.
When you look at the strength of schedule, the 5 hardest strengths of schedules, 4 of the 5 teams have 3 or less wins. There's only 1 team with more than 3 wins, and that's the Houston Texans at 10-5. When you look at the 5 easiest schedules, you got the Broncos, You got the Patriots.
Who else? Who else is in that? Who's the top 5 easiest
I
schedules?
couldn't
I
even
think
tell
the
you
Niners
off
are in
the
that
top of
too.
my head.
Let me stop.
Depending on how how the rest of the schedule. Well, I think that goes into our first or our second topic. And I'm gonna backtrack because I stated this the week before they played the Cardinals. I made a statement. I said, I want to see the Texans offense be consistent, and I want to see them put up points against Arizona, against the Raiders, because those are two garbage teams. The Raiders are 2-14, 2-13,
Yeah.
and the Cardinals they have like one more win. So those are bottom dwelling teams. And I think it's very important, especially this part of the year. You're ramping up going into the playoffs. So how teams this is when you get a good idea of who's going to make noise and who's a pretender with some of these last couple of games. And you need to blow out the teams that you're supposed to blow out. So well, yes, a dub is a dub. But what I said previously, I said I want to see them put up a good amount of points, and I want to see not 3-point wins, but like 10+ point wins against Arizona and the Raiders because they're that much better of a team. They're a playoff contending team. They have the number one defense, and my concern was that their offense was inconsistent. We ran into a little bit of inconsistency. There's 2 games left in the season. Now, the last 2 games, well, tomorrow's game is against a playoff team. That's going to be a 1-game litmus test for the Texans. How do they fare against the Chargers? We know Justin Herbert's record in the playoffs, but he likes to throw a lot of turnovers, create a lot of turnovers. But we're in the regular season. This is kind of a 1-game playoff. Let's see how the Texans do, and I definitely want to see how they take care of business against the Colts. It was just a little concerning and disappointing to see, the offense struggle against the Raiders. Like the Raiders are not good. You saw Philly, who's having an average season, hang up 31 points and shut them out. I have the Texans above Philly, as far as just the quality of team. And so I was like, all right, a win's a win, but the manner in which they won against a bottom dwelling team, I don't know what to think of it. I'm like, oh, I can't put anybody as a favorite at this point. I can't put the Broncos as favorites the way they lost or they almost lost to Kansas City on a third string quarterback that I had no idea who was. Um, at, and with the Patriots, they got an easy schedule. With the Bills, we've already seen the Texans beat the Bills, and we saw the Bills struggle against the Browns. They had a 3-point win, so it's any given Sunday. So I'm kind of countering my own point. You saw the Bills struggle against the Browns. Granted, the Browns have a better defense than the Raiders. So are there concerns going into the playoffs after this performance? It would be, I guess, my question to the group.
No, because that's one thing I say is in football, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and this was a down week for our offense, despite us progressively getting better every week up until this point. And the Raiders and the Cardinals are both bad teams, but they're bad in different ways. The Raiders have the 15th ranked defense, and the Cardinals have the 26th ranked defense, so they're a much worse defense than the Texans. But also, we were missing our starting running back. We were missing our second string starting running back because we're already missing Joe Mixon. And then Woody Marks took over as the number one back, and Woody Marks got hurt, and so he wasn't in. And Nick Chubb had got hurt last week, if I'm not mistaken, so he was limited. And so we weren't at full strength as an offense because Woody Marks made a big difference in setting up those play actions and getting those extra yards. Because you know how it goes. Those 3rd and 6s, Woody Marks is a very powerful running back, and so he'll pick up those extra 4 yards to get that. To make it 3rd and 2 or something like that, and we didn't have Woody Marks. We had another rookie starting, and so there were some factors. And then one of our tackles broke his hand during the game, and our offensive line was already shaky. Let's say to be kind. I'm not gonna say shaky because they're most improved offensive line in football, but our offensive line already had its strengths and non-strengths. And despite that, someone broke their hand, and then another player got hurt. There was 2 offensive linemen that got hurt. So the game was a little wonky. But like I said, the most important thing is that we figured out how to win. You know,
It was
also Aziz Al-Sayer did not play, which makes a big difference when it comes to why Jaunty ran all up and down our defense. And so it was an ugly game, like I said, but we still found a way to win despite missing some of our best players and most
Yep.
important players. And so it doesn't concern me. It doesn't concern me at all. Now, if we didn't have them in the playoffs, it would concern me. But I just hope that everyone gets healthy so that we have a nice, strong lineup going to the playoffs. And I pray everyone stays healthy during the playoffs and we can make a deep run.
Yeah. Well, the nice part, the Colts aren't going to make the playoffs. Let's be very clear. You're not going to go in there with Phillip Rivers. Watching his throwing motion made me sick. I was like, how is this man like a quarterback in the NFL or was a quarterback? Like, I don't understand how he's completing passes. That man was
Phillip
shot
Rivers
putting out there.
Phillip Rivers look like the drunk uncle on Thanksgiving talking about, let me sling that rock real quick, nephew.
He was like the uncle from Napoleon Dynamite. He was like, I throw this ball over the mountains. He kind of just like throws
You know
it.
what they say? Like when you hit your 40s, you just fall off a cliff. And he was 40 when he retired, and now he's
but, like,
44. So
They said
he's
he
much worse.
always threw like that late in his career, and I was like, oh, how is he completing these passes? Like, it's just bad.
Yeah, he was looking real funny.
But, regardless of that, I know DeForest Buckner.
Hey, I believe in Phillip Rivers. He's going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You want them to. It's a little bit of a catch-22 for me. This is a coin flip game against the Chargers. It's not just like, oh, it's a dub. Like the Chargers, let's not act like the Chargers are some, bottom team. They're pretty good.
They have a better record than us.
They do have a better record. Justin Herbert's an elite quarterback. Once again, this just adds to the resume of the Texans.
I'm not gonna say he's elite. I'm not gonna say he's elite.
He's a top 7 quarterback.
Top 10.
All right. That's another debate for another time. Given the state of quarterbacks in the league, I would say he's a above average, borderline elite quarterback. How about that?
I need to know who is your 6 before him.
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. No, excuse me, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford. I'd have to go through the full list. There's 5 right there.
I think that's 6.
6, sure. Top 7.
CJ Stroud? Question mark?
You think you taking Justin Herbert over Jordan Love, over
Absolutely.
Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts?
Over
Absolutely.
Jared Goff?
Absolutely.
I don't know about that.
See, the difference between and Jared Goff is being exposed like last night was a perfect example of why I take Justin Herbert over Jared Goff. Not just the turnovers, but the inability to be mobile. So like when the pocket collapses, Justin Herbert and CJ Stroud and a lot of quarterbacks have the ability to escape the pocket and still make a play downfield. Jared Goff if he's given time and a clean pocket, will pick you apart. But the moment the pocket collapses, he's toast and he falls to the ground. And it's been like that his whole career since he's entered the league. So I have Justin Herbert ahead of him. Now that's partially from a athleticism standpoint. I have CJ Stroud over Jared Goff, and that's also based on an athleticism standpoint.
So you got Justin Herbert over CJ Stroud, despite CJ
For
Stroud
now.
beating Justin Herbert in the playoffs badly.
For now, I think they're on equal. They're like equal pedigree. You're talking about one playoff win. Justin Herbert's in the
One
league a little
playoff
longer.
win. CJ Stroud has 2 playoff wins, which is 2 more than Justin Herbert has. And he lost to Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud.
I still have Justin Herbert over CJ Stroud for now.
Okay, we'll see tomorrow.
I think they're relatively the same type of quarterback. I think they have great arms. They have really good, they have great throwing accuracy. They can extend the play with their legs if they have to, if they need to, if they want to.
I think you owe Sam Darnold an apology.
No.
The way he beat up on the Rams.
He had 2 turnovers in that game.
So did Stafford. No, I don't know if he had 2 turnovers, but
No, Stafford played a clean game.
he did. But he
Sam-
lost. Sam Darnold won.
Good for him. Good for him. Guess what? That was a big game that wasn't watch. So if the Niners and the Seahawks win this weekend, they're going to get flexed into this Sunday night game on Week 18. I think that's the bet. That would be the best game to put on Sunday night. Another little bit of bias. He's going to poop the bed in that game. Calling it now. I thought he was going to poop the bed against the Rams. Hey, he came through. Good for him. Good for him. The game is coming.
Especially because I know you said that he wasn't clutch. Well, I'm not going to paraphrase, but you were saying like when the moment's too big, like he fails. Matthew Stafford drove down the field, scored a touchdown in overtime. That man drove down the field, scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to beat him and take the number 1 seed in the NFC.
That was a good game, but it wasn't a gotta have it. It wasn't, the lights weren't bright enough. It was a Thursday night game.
The number 1 seed don't matter. The number 1 seed don't matter.
But it got them in the number 1 seed. It didn't secure the number 1 seed.
But they played the number 1 seed and took it from him. When they were up, he had everything to lose.
It's not one of those games. I'm telling you right now, book next 2 weeks from today. No, not a week from Sunday. A week from Sunday, they play the Niners. If both teams win, and that is a primetime game, I'm booking it right now. Sam Darnold is going to throw a multiple pick game, and they're going to lose.
The Seahawks are the scariest team in the NFL to me right now.
There's no team that scares me.
The Seahawks scare me.
They don't scare me. They have a decent defense, but Sam Darnold's their quarterback.
Decent defense?
I said they have a pretty good defense. They have a pretty good defense.
They're top 5.
They're top 5 defense.
I'm not trying to derail the conversation, but the 2 teams that scare me as a Texans fan the most is the Jaguars and the Seahawks.
But you don't have to worry about the Seahawks till the Super Bowl.
That's it, huh? Only the biggest game of the year. If they make it to the Super Bowl, I'm not liking our chances.
If they make it to the Super Bowl, good on them. That means that Sam Darnold hasn't blown the game. But I'm telling you right now, he's a choker. I'm calling it.
I think if the Texans, if your biggest concern is playing the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, that means we're in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I'd take that. Hey,
I would take the Texans defense over Sam Darnold.
I'd rather not go to Super Bowl than go to Super Bowl and lose.
Oh, 100%.
Well, yeah.
If you're going to losing the NFC title game.
Bro, I know, right? Like, our AFC title game, yeah.
Yeah, the championship game. Championship game. Yeah.
But I think if we avoid Jacksonville, we can beat anybody. Jacksonville is the worst matchup for us, especially at Jacksonville.
I'm not concerned about. Not to say I'm not concerned about Jacksonville, but like if you look at both the games, we lost week 2, week 3, 10-17, and then you beat them the second time with Davis Mills, insane comeback. Like
Jacksonville can score a lot of points. That's what I don't like.
Can.
And in a shootout, I don't like the Texans versus anybody.
Yeah, but I trust the Texans defense over anything.
Trevor Lawrence will take more shots than CJ Stroud will.
Yeah, but think about this. Texans haven't given up. The most that we've given up was against Jacksonville, 29.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We've
had, 3 games where we've given up 20 or more. It's Jacksonville, Seattle,
Arizona.
but that's 20, right at 20. And then what was the other one? There was another one. Oh, the Raiders. You give up 20 to the Raiders, 21 to the Raiders. But it's like, aside from that, bro, you're holding teams. You held every opponent under 30.
What about Seattle makes you nervous?
Whenever we played them, we could not run against them at whatsoever. And that is crucial to winning.
Yeah.
Especially for us, who doesn't have a stellar receiving core, doesn't have a stellar offensive line, where our rookie running back is our number 1 running back. If we can't run the ball, good luck to us. Seattle sacks the out of teams too.
JSN was kind of running all over us too.
Yeah, but they can be beat in the air, and they, like I said, they put up 30 38 points, but the Rams put up 35.
Bro, we had like 5 chances to score and didn't score once.
That's what I'm saying. They moved the ball, and the defense gave you chances to score. You just didn't score. And that leads me to that comes back to my point. My concern, it's still the offense. It's the offense being able to win in a shootout, is be able to put up points consistently against some of these teams.
I don't know. I think it's a non-concern because people keep saying that, but the way that we play football, we find ways to win.
Sure.
We haven't even gotten in a shootout, so we don't even know.
Yeah, but I still think, like, for me specifically, I think the lack of offense is concerning to an extent because of the fact, like, yes, you do have an insane defense that is going to hold, but then it does get to the point where, like you say, you can score on a defensive touchdown, right? But you score on that defensive touchdown, you're right back on defense again. Like, your defense is going to be tested and tested and tested and tested. And when your defense gets tired, at some point, your offense has to be like, all right, let me take the pace. Let's hold, our time of possession. Let's move the ball up the field. But we also need to score to give your defense some insurance of like, hey, man, like, we scored for y'all, so like hold the fort down. So.
But this is a hypothetical situation because in the typical football, I guess you could say that in the typical football ethos, yes, that's the case. But as you see with the Texans, our defense is, funny enough, more conditioned than our offense. Our defense is always playing late into the games and always gets to stop to win the game. Pretty much. Our offense is the one that you don't want on the field longer because whenever we're on the field last, whenever that team has to go down and score on the Texans, they never do it. But whenever we have to go down and score on their defense, we almost never do it. So our team is just set up backwards. So I don't think that even applies to a normal team. Yes, it does apply. But the Texans defense is like an offense. We stay on the field for the full game. We never get gas. We tire you out. We hurt your quarterback. We wear down your offensive line. And that's the formula for us winning. And, you can do it once in a year, get a Super Bowl, and then next year bolster up that offense and then play a much more balanced game. But we haven't even seen it. We haven't even seen a shootout yet because our defense has not allowed more than, 27 points the whole year?
29.
29 points the whole year. They haven't allowed anyone to score 30 points this whole year, bro. That's crazy. Yeah. You telling me Bo Nix gonna be the first to do it? You telling me Drake May gonna be the first to do it? You telling me Aaron Rodgers at 40 gonna be the first to do it? Telling me Josh Allen's gonna do it despite him playing 2 of his worst games in his career against the Texans? Trevor Lawrence, yeah, he could. He's the most familiar with the Texans. That's why I say I don't like the Jacksonville matchup. They played us twice. They played us, however many times over the last few years. They see us all the time. They're more familiar with us. That's why I don't want to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. But even then, Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs, against Azeez Al-Shaair.
If there was a year to have your defense carry you because there's just not elite play, there's just not that team. The boogeyman's not there. Mahomes isn't in the playoffs.
Hey.
Our defense is the boogeyman.
Hey, I also just want to say, on like the second podcast we did, I explicitly said the Kansas City Chiefs will not make the playoffs.
You did. I'll give you your props.
They're not making the playoffs this year or next year. Like there
was one of the broadcaster guys, I think it's Colin Cowherd's second guy. He said the Chiefs ain't gonna make the playoffs before the season started, and people were like, "You're crazy." And now, bro, it's just like, what I tell you.
Interesting. I don't like to bet against the Chiefs that early on because I've done it before and it's bit me in the butt. But hey, it was a weird year, but
I saw it coming from a mile away.
There's 2 types of analyzation. Like there's the I hate this team, so I hope they lose, and there's here are the things that they need to win. They don't have those things to win from an actual analytical standpoint. Because obviously everybody every year wants them to get eliminated. Like I'm a Cowboys hater, so every year I'm saying the Cowboys ain't gonna make the playoffs. It's because I'm hating the Cowboys, but it's not because I analyzed their team and saw they don't have what it takes. The Chiefs this year, especially seeing the way they got embarrassed in the Super Bowl it was
It was the
looking rough.
embarrassment. The
It was looking
embarrassment
rough.
of the Super Bowl. Then also losing week 1 was like, oh yeah, no, they're already headed. Like when I saw that they lost to the Chargers week 1, I was like, hey, it's already up. Like the possibility of it happening is highly likely.
That didn't speak to me because it's a division game. And it's week
matter.
1.
But
Division games. Division games
That's
are
a team that
anomaly.
they beat every time. That's a team you beat every time, every year.
The only team that really upsets them is the Raiders. That's the only weird team that seems to upset them at least once a year.
But as David said, Justin Herbert is a top 7 elite quarterback. So if you have a top 7 elite quarterback, then you should have a chance to win against any team. And
I'm not saying that was a blowout. You still lose. I mean, just because you're an elite quarterback, it's any given Sunday, and it's just more than one player makes up a team. You could have the best quarterback, but you still need to have a surrounding cast. But this, to go back to the original point of talking about, the Texans not having to be in a shootout and going to the Super Bowl, this is that year. Like, this is such a weird year. You're about to have the number 1 seed, depending on what, the Patriots do this week. And, well, it's going to come down to next week. Really is going to come down to. You're going to have the number 1 and 2 seeds where you're just like, there's no pedigree. And they're really beatable. There's no juggernaut. I think, the Texans are the boogeyman for everybody because of that defense being so vaunting. You've already beaten Josh Allen. Now you've already beaten Trevor Lawrence once. Now you're about to play. Yeah, you beat Patrick Mahomes, and now you're about to play the Chargers. So that's who they've played just about all. They haven't played New England. That's like the only playoff team they haven't played. But you barely lost to the Broncos by 3 without C.J. Stroud. That was middle of the year. 2 different teams. That was before, the Texans got hot. And let's be honest, the Broncos peaked too quickly. I'm calling it now. The Broncos peaked too quickly. It's about getting hot now. In these last 3 or 4 weeks.
I feel the same thing with the Texans, though. 7-game win streak, taking it all the way to the Super Bowl is kind of difficult.
I agree. It might be tough.
So if we're going to drop one, it got to be tomorrow. It got to be tomorrow, or we'll drop one against the Colts.
But the
problem is that you haven't secured the playoffs, though. So you don't have to win tomorrow. You can still lose tomorrow, and as long as the Jaguars beat the Colts, then the Texans are in.
Yeah, but you don't need to lose a game just to prove that, hey, we can go to the Super Bowl. Like,
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to lose. Like,
I don't like to be superstitious, but it is a little bit like,
you're not the first person to say that, though. I've heard that from a couple other people.
You don't want to, if you're gonna drop one, you gotta go ahead. I would say sit everybody against the Colts, bro. Take your L and then be like, all right, we restart. But then again, don't get used to losing. So,
but if you win. If you win this week, like if you win out,
more benefits.
The number 1 seed's off the question, but the division's still up for grabs. So if you win this week, there's a shot. No, they play the Titans.
And Phillip Rivers does us a chance.
But even if the Jaguars beat the Colts, they still have to play everybody and play the Titans.
Yeah.
The Titans, they're not good, but they're not buns like they were the last few weeks. They've started putting up some points.
Hey man, they beat the Chiefs.
They're in division game. They smoked the Chiefs.
Yeah, AR could do his thing. Or sorry,
so
Cam Ward. My bad. Yeah,
but now
Cam
it's
Ward
kind of
do his thing.
Now you're playing for seeding because if you beat the Chargers, I believe you jump to the 6th seed. You jump to the 6th seed, and it depends if Buffalo loses, you potentially could jump up to the 5th seed.
Who does Buffalo play?
Philadelphia.
And isn't the Chargers in front of us? So if we beat them,
win, then you have the tiebreaker, and that means you jump ahead of the Chargers. If Buffalo wins, and then we beat the Chargers, it'll be Buffalo 5, Texans 6, Chargers 7.
I can't believe we have a chance to have a better record than we ever have had in the last 2 years. Starting off 0-3, we can win 11 games tomorrow.
That's wild.
Hey, the last team to start off 0-3 and make the playoffs were
the
Texans.
That's crazy to do it 2 years in a row, and now you have a shot at going all the way. Like
it wasn't in a row. We didn't do it last year. It was when Bill O'Brien was quarterback.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's crazy that the second team to do it is the same team.
Oh yeah, true. Bill O'Brien was quarterback. I mean coach. My bad.
He was the coach, the GM, the owner. He was everything.
Everything is
Best
fired.
case, best case scenario, and we're just gonna jump to this topic. Do you think clinching the division still in the plans, or do you feel like it's
100%, bro? Phillip
Absolutely.
Rivers is gonna come through for us. I'm telling you, bro. Clip it, post it, show everybody. Phillip Rivers is gonna come through for us.
all right? Let's look at injuries.
I would like to win the division just because you get that home game.
Yeah.
We need that 6 p.m. or that Saturday 3:30
p.m. baby. Hey, we're practicing tomorrow for the playoffs. That's how we doing, getting ready.
Sauce Gardner's questionable.
I forgot he's a dog on the cold.
Yeah, DeForest Buckner just got put on season-ending IR, so he's done. Where is I don't see Charvarius Ward on the injury report. That's the two biggest things. You get Sauce back and Charvarius Ward. You get the Colts have a puncher's chance.
He said a puncher's chance, man. They just lost to the Seahawks 16-18, bro. They could beat the Jaguars.
They also got stomped by the Niners 48-27.
Hey, but that was pre Phillip Rivers.
No. That was his first game. That was his first game.
Oh, okay. Well, it was his first game.
And so
Just moving the goalposts.
That's what I'm saying. It really throws me that you had the Seahawks put up 18 points on that defense. Now, granted, I think Charvarius Ward was playing. Sauce was still out.
Why do we think the Colts defense is one of the best in the NFL?
No, but I'm saying you're afraid of the Seahawks, and it's like the Seahawks kicked 6 field goals against the Colts, and then you saw the Niners run all over the Colts like they were.
Football is a personnel game, man. Some teams just match up worse than other teams. Like there's been no team in NFL history that just blew out everybody they played. Even the Patriots, whenever they would be winning 14 games, 15 games in the year, they would play some close games, but you still come out and win because that's the nature of football. You don't blow people out often.
There's times that you should blow people out, and there's times where it should be close.
And it never happens in the way that you think it should. It always the teams that you blow out are the most surprising games. And the team that's when the Patriots beat the Jets 45-3 in the regular season and lost to them in the playoffs. Like that's football. It's unpredictable.
It's fair.
If you want to know how unpredictable football is, go bet on the team. You'll see how unpredictable. You got a fantasy team. You know how unpredictable it is. It's like, bro, Josh Allen almost scored 14 points against the Bills. I mean, the Browns. But he'll put up 60 points against the Rams. It's like that's just how football is.
Yeah. So it stinks when it's not in your own hands. So the Texans don't control their own destiny. So they got to win out. And
they do control their own destiny because if they win tomorrow, they clinch a playoff spot.
Yeah, but they don't control their destiny for clinching in the division.
Oh no, they don't.
Yeah, so you win tomorrow, and even then, you don't even have to win tomorrow as long as the Colts lose. They lose one of the next two. Then the Texans go 0-2.
The Texans are going to win tomorrow, and the Colts are going to win tomorrow.
Yeah, I was about to say because we need the Colts. We need the Colts.
Yeah, we need the Colts to win because I think the Colts give you a better shot than the Titans.
I hate Denver. They're frauds. I told you they were frauds. I knew they were going to lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I hate them. The Texans have gotten no help in the last 3 weeks.
Oh no, literally, we've been winning every single game, and every game we need to go in our favor has not went in our favor.
Bro,
because the Denver Packers game, you need the Packers to win, and of course Jordan Love does what Jordan Love does best.
Then you need the Jaguars to beat, or you need
Denver to beat the Jaguars.
Denver to beat the Jaguars, they lose. You need
the freaking Bills beat the goddamn who was it? The Bengals. That would have helped us.
You need the Browns. You need the Browns to beat the Bills. They dropped that game. You need the freaking Chiefs to beat the freaking Broncos, and they dropped that game. The only thing that we've had going for us is us winning.
Yep, that's all you can do.
The only games that matter is the Texans keep winning. Everybody that we need to win has lost, but we keep winning. That is it.
Yeah, it's disgusting, bro. It truly is disgusting.
And the thing that makes me mad is it's gonna be, you get that favor of you need the Colts to beat the Jags, and it'll be like the Colts will beat the Jags, but then the Texans will lose. It'll be like one of those. It's like,
Bro, I'm not speaking that, but that was one of my fears. Like, we lose to the Chargers and then the Jaguars finally lose, bro.
But that's how it is you always get one or the other. You never get both going in your favor, and it's just like,
nah, we gonna get them both in our favor, bro.
But I'd rather take the Texans dub over anything.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into the game tomorrow then. We'll go through our keys to victory. I got
Also, I just want to say it feels good to be back.
Does feel good to be back. Feels amazing to be back, actually. All right, so I got 5 keys to victory. First one, get home with 4 pass rushers. Generate pressure without blitzing, because every time we see them try to blitz and get cute, someone's left open. So a few stats I looked up. Chargers offensive line, according to PFF, ranks 27th. It's boo-boo. It means like that Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter should have a field day. Now here's where Herbert counteracts that. So Herbert, his average time to throw is 2.86 seconds. When he's under pressure, when it's like just the pocket keeps collapsing, he drops it to 2.25 seconds of release time. The league average is 2.7 to 3 seconds. So he gets the ball out quick. Got to take away the underneath stuff. Got to get pressure on with 4. And he's also one of those athletes, just like Josh Allen, just like Patrick Mahomes. You got to keep run integrity, gap integrity. Got to make sure you close those lanes. Second key to victory. Looks like Woody Marks is good to go. I don't see him on the injury report. Got to have a sustainable physical run game. Keep the offense on the field. Keep Herbert off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Third one, CJ Stroud's got to take what the defense gives him. Stop trying to play hero ball. Start trying to go for the big one. Just take what the defense gives you. Methodically, slowly, methodically, march down the field. Run, pass. If you have to check it down to your running back to get a few yards, at the end of the day, all you need is 2 3s and a 4 to get a first down. Go down the field, chew up clock, which leads me to my next one. Finish red zone trips with touchdowns and not field goals. The Chargers offense can come alive. So it is very important to score touchdowns instead of field goals.
By the way, Woody Marks is playing.
Oh, good. That's good.
Full participant practice.
But last one is just win the turnover battle, which I don't think the Texans have lost a turnover battle. I don't remember when they've lost the turnover battle. In this win streak.
Maybe, like this whole season, I think week 1. I don't think, did we have any turnovers week 1? I know we gave the ball up.
I mean, maybe not.
Yeah, we had
season.
A turnover week 1. Whenever Woody Marks had the ball punched out.
No, I'm saying like we didn't get a turn. Like we didn't take the ball away.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think the Texans have lost the turnover battle in this 7-game win streak.
Yeah.
So those are my 5 keys. Y'all got any more?
I got one that is probably like real big. Keep the ball away from Derwin James. I saw it happened in the playoffs last year, man. They throwing the ball Derwin James side. He will go find the ball. He will go get the ball. Keep the ball away from him. And it's easier said than done, but find a way. Like I'm not gonna say I don't fear anybody else on that Chargers defense, but I without a doubt keep the ball away from Derwin.
We gotta just trust Nico, man. Because once you take away a whole side of the field, you get real one-dimensional. And Nico is all we got, man. You take away Nico, we lost.
I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
Nico gives you the home run play. Nico gives you the 20-plus yard play. That's where you got to, you've got to get to the ball to Jaden Higgins. You've got to get Woody Marks out of the backfield. Even Nick Chubb's not bad out of the backfield.
Noel, got to get the ball to Noel too.
Yep. Do those short, cross routes.
Because looking at last week, they were spreading the ball around. Christian Kirk was getting a lot of touches. Dalton Schultz was probably getting more catches than anybody. Like
Dalton caught that one touchdown, that beautiful.
Fed the ball like all game. And then you take the big shot to Collins to secure the game. You're going to Collins here and there. Like Nico's getting the ball, but it's like everybody else was a factor. Like, yeah, you stop Nico, but you open up Christian Kirk. You're opening up Jaden Higgins. You're opening up Dalton Schultz. Like, so if you can get all of that going as well as still feeding the ball to Nico Collins, then you have a lot of good things going for you.
Where does the Chargers defense rank? Would be my last question.
I think they're like 5th or 6th or something. They're up there.
Here we go. They are points. They're 8th.
I think the Texans already have the blueprint on how to play Justin Herbert. They killed that man last year.
Yeah. Make him play. Make him feel rushed, out of his element. It's not like he's prone to turnovers. I mean, he takes care of the ball, but he's still prone to turnovers. You just can't let him be comfortable. Make him move around. The matchup I want to see is Ladd McConkey a slot receiver? He's not an X. I believe he's a slot.
I believe so.
I have no clue, mate.
I'd be curious to see if they have Will Stingley Jr. follow him. You shut down Ladd McConkey. I mean,
yes. Well, another thing too is Keenan Allen has some incentives for like, I think it's like $500,000 for like a couple catches and a couple touchdowns. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're also trying to force feed him the ball.
yeah. The other player to watch out is Omarion Hampton, their running back.
Oh yeah,
That man's explosive. So keep an eye on him. The Rundy, Rundy's got to lock him up pretty quick because he gets out there. He's really good in space.
is Aziz back? Will Aziz be back for this game?
I didn't see him on the injury report.
Because man, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain watching Henry on the green dot last week.
Dang, Herbert has 25 touchdowns and 12 interceptions this year.
He's throwing picks this year. So
Henry,
last year,
Henry
he
on
had
the
like
green dot looked
2.
extremely uncomfortable as far as calling plays and making things happen. He was dropping into coverage, getting burnt by Ashton Jeanty. Like it was awful. He got burnt. He got toasted for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Aziz is playing tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, because that Aziz calling the defense, and it's not that Henry is bad. Henry is a good linebacker outside of coverage.
Yep.
But
I think everybody was fine, but the Texans just was like, bro, this is the Raiders. Let's just see what happens. Bro, let's just chill out. Don't risk it. Because we need everyone for the Chargers.
Yeah, and that was kind of my other thing. The conclusion I came to was sometimes you get this close to the playoffs and you play a team like the Raiders who were they were like 2-12. You look ahead a little bit and you're like, we don't have to like lace them up this week. We can get by. And then the focus was the Chargers, and you got to be careful with that because it almost cost you a win. Like it was a lot closer than I guarantee the Texans would have wanted it. They're like, 2-point game.
I think it's better than getting somebody hurt, man, for the whole season. Yeah, Ariante Ursari's out, and so is Trent Brown.
That doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. So CJ's got to get the ball out quick. They need to. I almost feel like you need to move the pocket and let CJ make throws on the run.
We got to see Nick Caley get in his bag and get real creative.
Yeah, that hasn't happened all season. I don't believe it'll start tomorrow.
We'll see. I mean,
things that have never happened before happen every single day.
Hey, all I'm saying is, but you know what? Because it's one of them things when the parlays hit and that boy done scored 5-10 games straight of 25 points, and you go take that over 24, and he scored 23. Hey, it's possible. It's possible.
I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine.
All right. Score predictions.
I don't really have one, but I'll make one up.
All right.
Texans 27 and the Chargers 19.
Okay.
I say
One of those touchdowns being a defensive one.
24-10 Houston.
Okay.
24-10.
Dang, 10 points. All right.
24-10, man.
I
We held the Chiefs to 10. We've held the Bills. Like we've been holding some teams down, man.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I'm going to keep this one close. I'm going to give it 24-21 Texans. Last second field goal to win the game. All right.
No hope in them boys, man.
Across the league, big matchups.
They got beat by the Jaguars 35-6.
They sure did get beat by the Jaguars 35-6.
I
was
don't
that?
know how the Bears keep winning games.
Caleb Williams ain't bad, bro.
He ain't good.
He paint them nails, but he can still throw the ball.
I don't know how the Bears keep winning games.
I mean, they weren't atrocious last year.
They'll be one and done in the playoffs, so I'm not tripping.
I don't think
I
so,
don't know.
bro. I don't think so. I think you gotta let go of the Bears hate and realize that they're actually a solid team.
I think they are a solid team.
Okay. Hey, Bears one and done. Clip it.
I don't know. They did play a bunch of trash teams, but then they also beat the good teams, though. That's the thing.
Define the good teams. Who are the good teams?
Beat the Packers. They came back and won the Packers. They beat
They beat the Lions,
Philadelphia.
or they lost to the Lions, and then
So we're calling Philly a good team?
They're a playoff team.
They lost to the Lions.
No. I didn't ask if they're a playoff team.
They lost to this. They beat the Steelers.
Is there a good team in the league this year?
Fair enough.
I mean,
Can't be mad.
When you say good, man, just say over 500. They beat some over 500 teams.
that's fair.
I will rock with that then. Over 500.
Playoff teams. So who we got?
Because remember, you were like, we were like, they're gonna get waxed by Philly, and then they ended up beating them. So
I came out. I said it too. They were what 8-3, 8-3, and I was like, oh, they're about to go. They're like 7-3. We were like, oh, they're about to go like 7-10 with that schedule, and then
they started winning games, and I was like, bro, what is going on?
I was like, dang.
Because I was talking my trash. I got a friend who's a Bears fan, and trust me, I haven't heard the end of it. I still haven't heard the end.
But when you look at their schedule, anyway, their wins aren't impressive. They lost to the Vikings. They lost to the Lions. They beat the Cowboys. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Commanders. They beat the Saints. They beat the Ravens. They lost to the Bengals, or they beat the Bengals. They lost to the Ravens actually. They beat the Giants. They beat the Vikings again. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Eagles. Lost to the Packers. Beat the Browns. Beat the Packers, and now they play the 49ers. So they really haven't played any. They haven't played no one like the Rams or the Seahawks or the Bills or anybody that we would consider good. But they did win that shootout against the Bengals. It was like a 40-point game plus,
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean,
they're last. They got to play the. Excuse me.
They got to play the Lions, and they got to play the Niners.
The Lions, basically anybody that's hurt, they're shutting it down. The Niners going to be their last test. I think it's going to be a test for both teams. Who's legit and who's not. Both could be legit.
Because both of those teams are going to be wild card teams. Well, actually, the Bears could win first seed.
They're both
in their
vying
division.
for the number one seed.
Sheesh.
Yeah, because if the Bears win, the Bears would have to win, and the Seahawks would have to either lose this week or they lose to the Niners the following week, and the Bears would be the number one seed.
Yeah, the Bears are 11-4.
And if the Niners win out, they're the number one seed. And the
Rams and the Rams and the 49ers are both 11-4.
Yeah. And the Seahawks, like I said, if the Niners beat the Bears, you can almost book it. They're going to flex that game on a Sunday Night Football. Seahawks-Niners for the number
NFC
one
South
seed.
is hideous.
NFC South is garbage. I would love to see Carolina in the playoffs. I think everybody wants Carolina. That's the easiest out you can get. Nobody is scared of Carolina. Yeah, they beat the Rams. They've had a couple.
Hey, their defense, man. Their defense is not that bad. Their
Hey,
secondary got hands.
nothing would be crazier than the Panthers making the playoffs and giving everybody a run for their money.
That'd be wild.
Their secondary
That
got
would be
hands.
insane.
Brock Purdy should have threw 5 picks against them, but they
Oh,
dropped
absolutely.
2. They dropped 2 of them.
Absolutely. But what was crazy was even with 3 picks and should have had 5 picks, it was still like a 20-8 game or something like that, 20-10.
Yeah, it was.
But then they turn around and then they lose, or they beat the freaking they beat the Rams, and I was like, that's where I'm like, dude, this is weird as a year. Or
This
year is
gonna
weird.
be a great year for football.
It's gonna be a great year. The playoffs are gonna be wild. Like it's literally you're like, I don't know who's favored.
The Texans.
Bro, the Packers and the Ravens, talk about a toilet bowl. They just ruled out Jordan Love, and I think Lamar Jackson just been ruled out too. I was like, well,
These primetime games have been trash this year.
they have been poo. They have been poo. So the
That
Ravens,
game, Kansas City versus Denver yesterday, was a toilet bowl as well.
the Packers at this point, I mean, they're in. You obviously don't want to be. You want to move up in the wild card seeding, but you want health at this point. It's just win. You get in and you see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers just shut it down the rest of the year.
They're already in the playoffs.
Yeah, with the Lions losing on Thursday, the Packers locked up the spot. The only two teams. Well, the only team in the NFC that has been locked up is the Panthers and the Bucks. And if the Panthers win, then that last game won't mean anything. If the Panthers lose, but the Bucks have to win, which the Bucks play. So the Panthers play the Seahawks at home. Interesting. But the Bucks play.
The Niners are a lot better than I thought they were. I thought they were like mid or something like that.
Their offense is coming on.
Mac Jones, and Brock Purdy, and then now they got 11-win team, man.
Their run game's coming alive, and their offense is starting to put up points. But they have the inverse problem of what the Texans have. Their defense is super sus. It's like this, you just don't know who's going to show up and if they're going to be consistent. So they have the inverse problem, which would be hilarious if they both met up in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl.
They said defense wins championships. I mean, we already played them once, and it was not pretty for the 49ers.
Yep. We'll see what happens again.
Same thing. Kyle Shanahan in big games. Come on, bro. He gonna get a lead, and then he gonna lose it fourth quarter.
Yeah, but yeah, it'd be an interesting matchup. The Bucks play the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Bucks play the Dolphins. They should win. They should win.
The fact that the Bucks have 8 losses and are still in playoff contention is crazy.
That shows you how poo that division is. And then you have, like I said, the Panthers play the Seahawks. So Panthers win and they're in.
That's like that one time the Seahawks made the playoffs and they were like, what?
7-9?
7 in a row.
That was
hideous.
That was
hideous.
the Beastquake year.
I don't even know how they made it that year. 7-9 is crazy.
Well, what's crazy is like the freaking Texans are 10-5 and haven't locked up a playoff spot.
It's crazy.
No, you win and you're in. Or Jaguars take care of business against the Colts and you lose. It doesn't matter.
Philip got us.
Well, you win and the Jaguars lose, then you get the division because then you control your own destiny. Because then you just beat the Colts, which I don't see Phillip Rivers doing anything against this defense.
Let's send them back to retirement.
Other game to watch. Steelers Browns, because the Steelers and the Ravens are still fighting for that division. So if the Steelers win, they're in. But if the Ravens lose, the Steelers are in. So they're in the same spot as the Panthers. Panthers, Bucks, and Steelers, Ravens are in the exact same scenario.
I kind of want the Ravens to make the playoffs.
Who do they play next week? They play the Steelers. That's hilarious. So if they win, but the Steelers have to lose. If the Steelers win one of the next 2, they're in. So it doesn't matter. They play the Browns. We'll see. Jaguars, Colts, Bucks, Dolphins. Oh, Eagles, Bills. Eagles, Bills is a 325 game on Sunday.
Oh,
That'll be an interesting matchup for both teams because both teams are like, I feel like the Bills are so up and down. Like there's sometimes where the Bills just put up 45, Josh Allen goes off, and other times Josh Allen is just like you beat the Browns 23-20 and you just escape. You escape out of there.
I mean, not the Browns. The Bills are not like and I don't want to say juggernaut that they used to be, but the Bills were a consistently like offensive driven team that could score often and score a lot week in and week out. And I feel like they're not that anymore.
They're inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like they're super inconsistent. They'll give you 20 to like 25 points consistently, but like that 40-point game,
Yeah.
it's not like a given like it used to be.
Because they used to put, like I say, Josh Allen scored 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, and still lost.
Yeah.
Like they were consistently just putting numbers up like that, though.
The Bills team has just lost talent more and more every single year, though. So the fact that they're still contending is a miracle, but they're not
And,
what they used to be, not
and
at
then they
all.
had big hits like you bench Keon Coleman for what, 4 games, 3-4 games straight. Like you're killing your offense. You're losing weapons.
Shipped
Khalil
off Stephon
Shakir,
Diggs.
yeah, shipped off
Yep.
Stephon Diggs. Like uh, it was just a bunch.
Ed Oliver got hurt. They had a
Yeah,
lot of factors
Oliver's,
happen.
yeah, he's still on injured reserve, so he's
That's like the Chiefs if they had lost Chris Jones, you know.
they might be just resting him till the playoffs. Like I said, they're locked. So yeah, they're still vying. Technically, they're still vying for the number one seed. They're still vying for the division, the number one seed. So it's not like they're just going to sit down. There's nobody that really should be resting. I think the Packers are the only team that should really be resting. And even then, if the Niners beat the Bears and the Packers win, now that division's on the table. So it's this weekend, I think, is going to. It very well could have a lot of teams shut down week 18. It very well could have everybody playing because you're trying to get, your division or a better playoff spot. Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited
it's
that we don't got to wait till Sunday. We can watch football
absolutely.
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. I mean, Christmas, all 3 Christmas games were butt cheeks. I
They
was like,
really should switch that Texans Chargers game to 7:30.
I think so. That's the better game.
But it's too late to flex now, huh?
Oh yeah, it's too late. It's unfortunate. Um, that's That's a pedigree game. So the Packers getting the primetime game over the Texans and the Chargers is pedigree. I don't agree with it, but it's not the better game. This is the year for the Texans to take the whole thing. Like this is the year. This is the year for a lot of teams, but I think that if there's any team to come out of the AFC, bro, it's got to be the Texans.
It's our year. We got the best defense, man. You know what
Absolutely.
they say, defense wins championships.
Absolutely. And you know who I root for, but I still think this is a perfect opportunity for the Texans to take it. So if you're gonna do it this year. The boogeyman's not here.
the big
If
bad
you go and do
Mahomes
it just
scare
like
you.
this. Hey.
All right, guys. Well, good show. As always, we will be back for our post-game thoughts. But y'all have a good rest of your night.
You as
Peace.
well. Peace.